Hello, welcome to Mr. Puffin's Travelling Bookstore, narrated by me, Simon Miller. Mr. Puffin and his travelling bookstore are well known across the country. Many gather when they hear he's in town. One day, Mr. Puffin visited a grand castle. Everyone at the castle bought a book from the bookstore, whilst the owner of the castle, Mr. Beaver, gave his book to Mr. Puffin to sell. The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. That is them talking. Mr. Puffin reads the book that night, and he loves it and decides to sell it in the shop. The next day, Mr. Puffin took his travelling bookstore on the road again. And he waddled and found himself at a garden party. Everyone bought a book from the bookstore, whilst Mr. Rabbit asked Mr. Puffin to sell his book, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. That is them talking. Mr. Puffin reads the book that night, and he loves it and decides to sell it in the shop. Mr. Puffin heads out the next day, and he came across a busy farmer's market. Miss Pig gave him her book to sell, Charlotte's Web. Mr. Puffin reads the book that night. He loved it, and it gave him an idea. Mr. Puffin wrote a letter to his friend, Mr. Penguin, who invited him down to his London office. Mr. Puffin travelled to London to meet his friend, Mr. Penguin. Mr. Puffin showed Mr. Penguin the books, and he loved them too. So they decided to publish them under Puffin Publishing. Mr. Puffin invited all the authors to London to celebrate the publication of the first of many books. And that has been Mr. Puffin's Travelling Bookstore, narrated humorously by me, Simon Miller. Thank you very much.